Hey guys, happy Saturday. It's Daryl here. It's coming up on 7 a.m. here in Connecticut on the East Coast. I'm here in my home gym, which I think a lot more people these days are probably getting the hang of. Today, I just wanted to talk a little bit. I was watching some videos on especially the kids in Florida on spring break. And as I watched them talk, some things came to mind. I remember my mindset back then. That you'd live that feeling. Before I lost my first friend, one of my close friends died, hit a tree skiing when I was 18. Before that, you really don't have a firm grasp. Even losing my dad from brain cancer. This When I lost my friend at 18 when we were skiing that day, my close friend, it was a whole different. It hit me in a whole different way. You realize your mortality. You realize that there is, that you are immortal. You're not superhuman. As a teen, and especially, I don't know, especially as a male teen, you get an invincible feeling sometimes. And then you also get this attitude that, just live for today. Screw it. I work hard. I deserve it. And something I'm not proud of, but I was especially good at that. So I watched these teens talking, and the one common factor is they're all talking about themselves, that they're okay with putting themselves at risk. Whatever happens, happens. Live for today. If I get sick tomorrow, so be it. That kind of mentality. And not one of them, not one single one of them realized what the true problem with this is. That young people in general aren't, as of right now, aren't as much at risk of uh, this being fatal or even being severe. It's the people over 60, over 70. And sadly, as I watched each one of these kids talk, I saw a couple different interviews, probably about 10 different spring breakers down there. And you could see that light bulb had not gone off, not on one single one of them. That it's not really all about them. It's not really about them really at all. It's about that there's going to be tens of thousands of. I've been down to Daytona Beach. I was just down. I was just down on that beach at this time of year, the year before last. Um, it's a beautiful beach. Yeah, it's hard to walk away from it. I understand, but and I saw the spring breakers down there. But not one of these kids realized that they're going to return home, that they have elderly parents. Their parents are older, their grandparents are older. They don't realize that what they're doing there is more of a danger, especially to their family, their home they're going to go to. Um, their neighborhood, their family, their neighborhood, their town. It would almost be one of those situations where once this kid comes back from Daytona, it's like that rock being thrown into a pond and the ripples. And then you think about the tens and thousands or hundreds of thousands of kids going back to each of their towns. And all it would take, it wouldn't take for too many, a couple of these kids to actually be infected with this virus. Another point that I don't think anybody came up with here. These kids are going to be hungover 24/7 and drunk, and they're not going to notice if they have the flu. I've been drinking 13 years, but I remember powering through it. The old "fake it till you make it" mentality. And these kids are going to be more or less, if what I remember is still true, these kids are going to be more or less drunk the whole time they're there, or hungover. And in that condition, I think it'd be. I'm not a medical expert. I am a somewhat of a hangover expert though. And a lot of these kids will probably just, they probably wouldn't even say anything. The thought might even be in their head, but I bet you they wouldn't even say anything because, their mentality that they've been working hard and they deserve this, and nothing's going to stop them from enjoying this ritual that they so rightly deserve and that they're owed this. Like I said, now I almost think that someone's going to have to step up and take control because these at that age they really don't have a comprehension to act all that responsibly. You know, I'm not letting them off the hook, but I remember being that age, and just the fact that not one single one of those kids in any of the interviews I saw, not one single one of these kids got the big picture. You know, I wish to God one of the reporters would have said, "What about your parents? Do you live with your grandparents? What about, how would you feel if you basically killed them? You know, from your spring, you know, enjoying getting drunk at your spring break, ended up with your grandma and grandpa dying." Yeah, it's harsh, but maybe sometimes, you know, you need to be harsh. But like I was saying, you know, I hate when I hear, you know, governors closing this or that, or especially I love the beach, and it makes me cringe, man. I do not like my rebellious nature. I do not like being restricted. But at my age, I understand it's necessary now, and it's not necessary. It's not just about me. You know, it's about the my. It's about the society I live in more than me, the health of this society. But just some thoughts on the spring breakers. I think it's all good. It's all going to come. It's all going to come to an end anyway, pretty soon. But hopefully, none of them are gonna. You know, this situation isn't gonna occur where as I was just saying about the pebble in the pond. You know, I pray that doesn't happen. That all of a sudden, in a week or two, we see these big outbreaks all over the country, possibly from a result of the spring breakers going home. I hope that's not the case. Anyway, okay, you guys all have a great weekend. Take care. Stay healthy.